Late last year, I sat alone on my balcony, holding a cup of coffee that had long gone cold. I was staring blankly at the glaring red charts on my phone screen. I had poured a massive chunk of my savings into a high risk investment, hoping to double my money in just 3 months. Instead, I wiped out half a year of hard earned salary. That night, I turned off my phone and just sat there in the dark. The terrifying part wasn't the negative balance. The terrifying part was the sudden realization that I was living my entire life in a rush, rushing to make money, rushing to multiply it, rushing to get rich, just to keep up with everyone else around me. I had turned my personal finances into a relentless sprint, and the only result was that I was constantly out of breath. In the midst of all that confusion and burnout, I happened to read an economic analysis about something truly bizarre in Japan. In this country, there are businesses that have survived not just for 10 or 20 years, but for hundreds and sometimes even over 1,000 years. Their secret does not lie in some groundbreaking technology or a magical round of funding. It comes down to one core concept. While most of the business world operates by obsessing over quarterly profit reports, these Japanese companies think in decades. And right then, in that exact moment, it hit me. I finally understood why my own bank account was constantly on the edge of collapse. In the modern Western world, we are deeply obsessed with short term numbers. Corporations are constantly pressured by shareholders to show explosive growth every single quarter. Caught in that exact same spinning wheel, we place those heavy expectations on our own shoulders. We ask ourselves, how can I double my income this month? How can I flip this asset and cash out by next week? We buy things to satisfy the fleeting emotions of today, and we invest with the mindset of a gambler, desperately hoping to change our lives by tomorrow morning. But the long-standing business culture in Japan is stubbornly slow. They willingly accept lower profits in the early years, as long as the foundation they are building is deep enough to survive the economic storms of the coming decades. They refuse to sacrifice the security of the next generation, just to chase rushed, temporary growth today. I realized something profound. If this exact mindset could keep an entire organization alive through global wars and brutal recessions, it could absolutely rescue the financial life of a single individual. This video is not some dry lecture on macroeconomics. It is a complete shift in how you see money. Today, we are going to break down 3 Japanese economic principles that will help you strip away the heavy pressure of making quick cash. We will show you how to stop tearing through your own income month after month and instead start building a quiet, resilient wealth that lasts for decades. Principle 1, Shinise, generational thinking over flash trends. The first concept is Shinise, a term used for legacy businesses in Japan that have been passed down through multiple generations. The greatest defining trait of a Shinise is that they never chase fleeting trends. The problem with our modern generation is that we are so easily distracted by the allure of quick cash. Today, it is cryptocurrency, tomorrow it is dropshipping, and the day after that, it is some brand new investment fad. We constantly jump from one job to another, from one side hustle to the next, desperately hoping to find a shortcut to financial freedom. Imagine a friend of mine, Daniel. Over the span of 3 years, he tried 5 different online business models. Whenever he did not see spectacular results after a single season, he would quit and start all over again. The outcome? After 3 years, Daniel had not developed a single deep core skill that the market was actually willing to pay top dollar for. Applying the Shinise mindset to your personal finances demands the exact opposite. Pick one area of expertise, one investment strategy, one saving system, and stick with it long enough. Instead of asking, how can I make an extra $1,000 this month? A person with a Shinise mindset asks, what skill or asset can I build today that will feed me for the next 20 years? Truly wealthy people do not hop between trends. They choose a path and walk it with immense patience. Getting rich quick is usually an accident of luck, but getting rich slowly is always an intentional choice. But how do you stay patient on that long road without losing hope? That is when we need a much more refined way to operate. Principle 2, Kaizen, the power of invisible changes. We often think that fixing our finances requires a massive, painful surgery. We believe we have to cut out all restaurant meals, cancel every vacation, sell the car, and work 14 hours a day. The Western world loves a dramatic overnight transformation. But Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement, teaches us something entirely different. It states that extreme changes almost always lead to extreme collapse. Let us say you are spending way too much right now. Instead of forcing yourself to slash $500 from your budget in the very first month, which usually leads to misery and revenge spending the following month, Kaizen suggests finding a way to save just 1% each day. Instead of buying 2 coffees outside, brew one at home. Instead of paying for a yearly movie subscription, buy a 1 month pass and cancel it when you stop watching. You will not see yourself become rich overnight. That is a fact. But remember that decade-long mindset. A 1% improvement might not make your financial statement look significantly better this month, but it permanently upgrades the operating system of your daily habits. The problem with forcing yourself to live in strict deprivation is that it relies heavily on willpower. And willpower is exactly like a muscle. It completely drains out by the end of the day. Kaizen does not demand a massive amount of willpower. It only asks for gentle daily repetition, because in the end, consistency will always beat intensity. The Shinise mindset allows you to look far into the horizon, and Kaizen allows you to keep walking without burning out. But if you believe that thinking in decades means you have to live a dull and miserable life, pinching every single penny, and waiting until you are old just to finally enjoy yourself, you are entirely mistaken. What comes next is the true secret. It is the very heartbeat that keeps these ancient Japanese organizations from becoming cold and soulless. And more importantly, it is the exact key to ensuring that your money never becomes a cage that locks you inside your own life. Principle 3, Rinen, the core, philosophy of money. Every ancient business in Japan operates on a Rinen, a deeply held philosophy, a fundamental reason for existence. They know exactly who they serve and the ultimate value they bring to the world. For them, money is merely the natural byproduct of fulfilling that purpose, never the final goal itself. The greatest tragedy of our modern financial crisis is that we spend our entire lives chasing wealth without ever defining our own Rinen. Take a former colleague of mine, Sarah. She received a massive promotion, increasing her salary by 50%. Yet, only 6 months later, she confessed to me that she felt emptier and more overwhelmed than ever before. She had upgraded her car and moved into a luxurious apartment just to fit the expected image of a successful manager. But deep down, she had absolutely no idea what she actually wanted her wealth to achieve. Here's the dangerous truth. If you do not assign a clear philosophy to your money, society will gladly fill that void for you. Society will convince you that you must buy designer labels, take extravagant vacations, and live in a massive house just to be worthy of respect. Thinking in decades requires you to define the Rinen of your own life. What exactly are you accumulating wealth for? Is it to buy the freedom to walk away from a job you despise? Is it to have the time to stroll through the park with your children on a quiet Friday afternoon? Or is it simply to build an unbreakable shield to protect your family when hard times hit? When you truly understand the exact reason why those numbers sit in your bank account, you become completely immune to flashy watch commercials or the endless bragging on social media. Money without a purpose is nothing more than a piece of paper named anxiety. But money attached to a deep philosophy transforms into absolute peace. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, you will realize that this way of operating is the exact opposite of the chaotic, rushing world outside. The generational mindset of Shinise pulls you out of the desperate thirst for quick wealth and reckless speculation. The tiny daily improvements of Kaizen allow you to build an iron discipline without ever feeling like you are being punished. And the core philosophy of Rinen serves as an unbreakable internal compass, ensuring you never lose your way inside a consumer world perfectly designed to trap you. Standing alone, each of these principles might seem incredibly slow, but when they are woven together, they forge a fortress of wealth and a state of mind that absolutely no short term financial crisis can ever tear down. We have spent far too many years sprinting against 30-day finish lines. We hold our breath waiting for that end of the month paycheck. We frantically calculate our credit card payments, and then we repeat the exact same cycle all over again, walking through our financial lives like sleepwalkers. Perhaps it is finally time to stop building fragile castles on the sand just to show off for a fleeting moment. Give yourself the permission to slow down. Begin building your financial foundation through quiet patience, carrying the clear vision of someone who knows exactly where they will be standing a full decade from now. Because true wealth has never been a frantic sprint to see who can cross the finish line first. It is a lifelong journey to see who can travel the farthest, carrying the most peaceful mind along the way. If this video helped you release some of that heavy financial pressure and look at your life through a much wider lens, please subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. And I am genuinely curious. Between the deep desire to build something sustainable and the tempting urge to get rich quick, where do you find yourself struggling the most? Please leave your story in the comments below. Thank you so much for sitting here and listening.